Good evening, councillors, and welcome to our full council meeting on Wednesday, 3rd of September. And welcome to all those who are watching online. The Deputy Mayor, Councillor Thomas Taylor, is unavailable this evening as he's in Louviers, and the officer's recommendation is that the council elect a vice chair for this meeting. Would any councillor wish to offer themselves to act as vice chairman for this meeting?
I nominate Councillor Matt Bell. Sorry, I didn't pick that up, Councillor.
Happy with that? So you just need a vote. Yeah. Right, can I have all those in favour, please?
That's unanimous.
Didn't see that. I'm sure I did. Still there about Monday. Yeah. 15 loves.
I've got a pen in my bag. So thereby confirm that Councillor Matt Bell is elected to act as vice chair of this meeting. Apologies have been received from Councillor Weller, Councillor Thomas Taylor, Councillor Joanna Dickinson and Councillor Peter Dickinson. Are there any other apologies?
So apologies from Councillor Day and Councillor Jill Taylor.
Anybody else? So this item is always taken as proposed by myself and seconded by the acting vice chair. All those in favour?
That is unanimous.
I confirm the apologies for absence. Declarations of interest. There have been no pre-notified declarations of interest. Are any councillors wishing to declare today? No, thank you. Minutes of the last meeting. The officer's recommendation is that the members approve the minutes of the last meeting held on the 30th of July as a true and accurate record and agree that they be signed as such. Are you proposing?
That's two, Chairman.
Leary and Councillor Singleton.
Yeah, can I see?
And then can we vote on that, please? Everybody in favour?
That is unanimous. No, it's not. 17 for.
If I win.
Yes, 17 for.
Any against? Abstentions?
One.
One. Thank you. Councillors' questions and statements. May I remind councillors that a response will be given to any councillor questions. However, this is not an invitation to enter into debate. So are there any councillor questions or statements? No.
Yours open. That's a good reminder.
We now turn to my announcements. Sorry. Since our last full council meeting, I have continued to have a full diary of visits and thank the groups and organisers for their warm welcome and hospitality. My first engagement following our last full council was the meeting of the Love Parks event hosted by our Green Spaces team, together with other town council and Dorset Council colleagues at the Nose Gardens. Thank you to them all for putting on such an enjoyable family event. The children loved the opportunity to climb on our big grass digging machinery, storytelling, sending their teddies down the zip wire, and the adults seemed to enjoy the yoga sessions, to name but a few of the attractions. Weymouth Sailing Club Commodore invited me to his Pims party, which was thoroughly enjoyable, and I was invited to the award giving of the National Surf Life Saving Championships on our beach for the Nippers. I went to the Nippers, but it was going on all week for the adults. The organisers really praised Weymouth for allowing them to host their national championships here, and they were saying how much they'd like to come back in the future, and I believe they are coming back next year, but really would like they're not. Oh, right, but they told me that they'd really like the opportunity because they found the whole town so welcoming.
They go to different venues each year.
Yeah, I know, but they're thinking now of seeing if they could come here. So we'll watch this space. Friday, the 15th of August, marked the 80th anniversary of VJ Day and was marked by a memorial service organised by the Royal British Legion on the Esplanade, at which I gave an address. The next day was the VJ 80th Memorial Picnic at the Nose Gardens, organised again by the Royal British Legion. Despite the wind doing everything it could to dampen the spirits, it was enjoyed by everyone present, who were entertained by the decadents. I was delighted to travel to Lyme Regis for their Mayor's Civic Day, along with mayors from towns across the county. They made us extremely welcome, and an informative and enjoyable day was had by us all. I then attended, on behalf of the town, the 100th anniversary of Sand World on the beach and helped judge the Sandcastle competition. I have to say that I think the parents enjoyed themselves as much as the young ones, and luckily we had sufficient prizes for everyone, so we avoided any tears. Last Saturday, the pouring rain and howling wind, I welcomed everyone to the No Thoughts family silent disco. Despite the atrocious weather, everyone wrapped up, were in good spirits and had a great time. On Sunday, I had the pleasure of meeting several members of the Louviers Society at their annual American lunch. They are now all in Louviers on their annual visit, and I thank the Deputy Mayor for travelling over there in my place. Last night, I attended the Samaritans AGM, which gave a really in-depth insight into the wonderful work they are undertaking. Weymouth is so lucky to have such a dedicated branch, all of whom are volunteers and give so freely of their time. And earlier today, I attended and gave an address at the Merchant Navy Memorial Service on the Esplanade. Luckily, although the wind nearly blew some of us over, the rain held off. Throughout the last 5 weeks, I was delighted to attend the beach office on Monday evenings to give the countdown for the fireworks. From the vantage point of the office, it was so wonderful to see Weymouth so busy and everyone of all ages enjoying themselves. May I thank Will and his team for their hospitality and all their efforts to ensure that the fireworks were such an enjoyable occasion for everyone. Thank you. So we now move to agenda item 8. Dorset councillors attending, I would like to invite you to speak and report on the work and information significance of this council. Who would like to start? Councillor Gifford.
Yeah, so a number of us have been to a number of briefings recently about the developments happening in Weymouth itself. These are largely going to be driven by government funding and by Dorset Council, but it struck me as I was listening to some of the discussions that, whilst I'm sure that officers from this council are deeply involved and knowledgeable about what's going on, including contributing towards the Weymouth Master Plan, I wonder whether council feels the same way. I see limited input this council into a master plan that's going to shape the future of Weymouth, and I wonder if, to avoid the suggestion or the feeling it is done too, that there are ways this council can get more involved at the council level, certainly in terms of reporting back what the plans are and seeing whether we can influence them in any way. So it's not a question for now, but maybe a conversation in the coming days and weeks about how councillors on this council can get more involved in what's happening in Weymouth and these very big schemes. Very exciting, should be all around, be hugely beneficial to Weymouth, but it would be nice to think that we could shape them.
Although there wasn't a question there, Councillor Clifford, to reassure you that at present, officers are not having a significant input into that master planning. It's at a very early stage, and the public consultation is being held on the 12th and 13th at Weymouth Library. And councillors will all have received several emails from me about that event, and we are going to be sharing some comms with and from Dorset Council to encourage members of the public to attend. But those sessions have grown out of the 2 Pathway to Prosperity events that were held at Portland Sailing Club that councillors were invited to, and a number of councillors did attend. But please be reassured that as officers, we are pushing for full council and councillor involvement in those plans as they move forward and develop. Thank you.
Is there anything else you'd like to raise? Anybody else? Councillor Northam?
Just following up a little bit on that.
I think the local plan has hit the streets. Again, I can't remember whether it's the 12th or the 13th, but one of those days, it will also be in the library. So there's drop in, thank you. And here again, we haven't really had a Weymouth Town Council briefing on the significant number of developments that are being considered and are out for consultation. I think that one of our briefing sessions should be used for local plan. Thank you.
Anybody else, any other Dorset councillors wish to speak? No? Thank you. No public questions have been received ahead of the meeting, so we move on now to the Weymouth, Portland and Chickrell Access Forum, and the Town Clerk will introduce this report.
Thank you, Chair. As councillors can see from the report, the Town Council currently manages an informal group looking at access issues across Weymouth, Portland and Chickrell. This group has been following on from the work of the Borough Council, and we run it in partnership with both Portland Town Council and Chickrell Town Council, with all three town councils sending councillor representatives. The group also includes representatives from local groups and organisations, as well as interested individuals who experience access issues locally. Councillor David Harris is currently the councillor representative on the group, and you'll see from the report that it is recommended that a second is confirmed tonight. The council's community development officer, Charlotte Emery, supports this group in terms of administration, follow-on work and research. I'm delighted to be able to say that the work of the group has been recognised by the group being asked to represent local views at Dorset Council's Equality, Diversity and Inclusion Engagement Panel, which it's hoped that will run until the end of March 2026. And as you can see in the report, the main names of the panel are listed there. In order to ensure that there is oversight of this group and that council resources can continue to support the group in partnership with other town councils, organisations and individuals, the council should formalise the arrangements of the group. It was considered to make this one of the working groups that the council have. However, because it includes two other town councils and representatives from groups along with individuals, the best route forward is a partnership working agreement similar to the one that we have used successfully with the Towns of Culture Management Board. Therefore, this report seeks to secure council agreement to formalise the existing partnership and to continue the work with Portland Town Council and Chickrell Town Council to deliver the ongoing work of the Access Group. And also the recommendation seeks to confirm two nominated councillors to join the partnership, with one of those being Councillor David Harris. Thank you, Chair, and I'm happy to respond to any questions that councillors may have.
Councillor Harris, would you like to add anything to that?
Only to say that the access element is not just if somebody's in a wheelchair or has a physical disability. We're also wanting to ensure that we have a clear understanding of the needs of people that may look as if they're not affected by any physical problems, but have actually got some problems that need to be recognised.
Councillor O'Leary.
Thank you, Chairman. I'd like to nominate Councillor Stephen Dickens to fill the other vacancy within that group, please.
So shall we take this, does anybody else wish to speak on this? So shall we take this in two parts? Sorry, Councillor Clifford.
Can I just struck me whilst you were talking there, can we make contact with Dorset Council's Director for Adult Social Care, who is looking to introduce a scheme called Age Friendly Dorset, and it just feels entirely appropriate that these two things work in conjunction.
So shall we take this in two parts? First of all, can we vote on that the full council agrees to enter into a partnership with Portland Town Council and Chickrell Town Council to deliver the ongoing access work? Do I have a proposal for that, please? Thank you, Councillor Sybil. Councillor Oral, thank you. All those in favour? That is unanimous, thank you. And then we move on, so that is confirmed, and then we move on now to the two nominated councillors. Sorry,
Second, Councillor O'Leary's nomination.
all right. So that's right, so
Would that enable us to vote on
well, we could just do
the
two
people together? Yeah.
Yeah, so
Grand.
So councillor Dickens has been proposed and seconded now to be the second councillor on this group. Could I have everyone in favour, please? That unanimous?
It's unanimous again.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Richard.
Not with a vote.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so we move on to agenda item 11, health and safety policies and handbooks. And can I pass over to Charmaine Denny to introduce the report?
Thank you. So this report is coming to you as recommended from the Finance and Governance Committee. It's regarding the number of health and safety. It's regarding the number of health and safety handbooks. These include the Worker Safety Handbook, the Health and Safety Policy and Procedures, Driver's Handbook, Health and Safety Contractors Handbook, and Private Driver's Handbook. These documents have been created with the advice of our advisors, our health and safety advisors, and our health and safety advisors consider these to be best practice. Finance and Governance Committee did know that some of them very simplified. This just makes them accessible for all in the workplace. Should you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Councillor Sybil, as chairman of the F&G committee, would you like to speak on this one? Right,
thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak? So the recommendation of the Finance and Governance Committee is that the full council approve the adoption of the following health and safety documents, and these are listed A to E on the agenda. So councillors have to propose the seconder. Councillor O'Leary. And can all those in favour?
Is unanimous, Chair.
Still more items.
Right, we now go on to. We now go on to information items and the Weymouth Neighbourhood Plan, and I can understand that David, you would like to, sorry, Councillor Norton would like to speak on this. If we could limit it to between 5 and 10 minutes, please, that would be really helpful.
Thank you. I don't have much to say. We had a meeting with Dorset Council today. We asked them when they would be repeating their last steps, having promised to have completed it several weeks ago and then last Friday. And now it's this Friday, so we're keeping our fingers crossed. I'm embarrassed that we're not able to share where the knowledge which we have at the moment with you. We can't do that until that process is complete and the examiner has formally sent us the examiner's report. As it says on that note, that will then be published, and I'm happy to take any questions anybody has at that point in time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Norton. Then, so we move on then to the Green Hill Rafts update.
So I hadn't prepared anything, but just a brief update. As discussed at TAG last night, I am in the process of writing a report. A report will be continued with 3 options. Those options are for the rafts to remain as were previous, and to be taken out completely, and for inflatable rafts to be deployed. So the report will be coming to a future committee of the Environment Services.
Thank you. The actions from previous meetings are all in the paperwork that you have. And the Weymouth Town Council forward plan is all there. So the recommendation is that we ask members to note these information items, and I don't believe we need to vote on it, do we? So I'm delighted to say that at 17 minutes past 7, I declare this meeting closed.
Oh, right.